Myself, Dr.M.Saranya, Assistant Professor of BBA Department. Now I am going to present a topic on steps in sample design. While developing a sample design, the researcher must pay attention to the following points. The first point is type of universe. The first step in developing any sample design is to clearly define the set of objects, technically called the universe, to be studied. The universe can be finite or infinite. In finite universe, the number of items is certain, but in case of an infinite universe, the number of items is infinite. We cannot have any idea about the total number of items. The population of a city, the number of workers in a factory, and the like are examples of finite universe, whereas the number of stars in the sky, listeners of a specific radio program, throwing of a dice is an example of infinite universe. Second one is sampling unit. A decision has to be taken concerning a sampling unit before selecting the sample. The sample unit may be a geographical one, such as state, district, village, etc., or a constructions unit such as a house, flat, etc., or it may be social units such as family, club, school, etc., or it may be an individual. The researcher will have to decide one or more such units that he has to select for his study. Next one is source list. It is also known as sampling frame, from which sample is to be drawn. It contains the names of all the items of a universe, in case of finite universe only. If sources list is not available, researcher has to prepare it. Such a list should be comprehensive, correct, reliable and appropriate. It is extremely important for the source list to be representative of the population as possible. Next one is size of sample. This refers to the number of items to be selected from the universe to constitute a sample. This is a major problem before a researcher. The size of sample should neither be excessively large, not too small. It should be optimum. An optimum sample is one which fulfills the requirement of efficiency, representativeness, reliability and flexibility. While deciding the size of sample, researcher must determine the desired precision as also an acceptable confidence level of the estimate. The size of population variance need to be considered as a case of larger variance, usually a bigger sample is needed. The size of population must be kept in view for the view while deciding the sizes of the sample. The cost to dictate the size of the sample that we can draw. As such, budgetary constraints must invariably be taken into consideration when we decide the sample size. Next one is parameters of interest. In determining the sample design, one must consider the questions of the specific population parameters which are of interest. For instance, we may be interested in estimating the proportion of a person with sample characteristic in the population, or we may be interested in knowledge some average or other measures concerning the population. They may be important subgroups in the population about whom we would like to make estimates. All this has a strong impact upon the sample design. We would accept budgetary constraints, cost consideration from practical point of view have a major impact upon the decision relating to not only the sizes of the sample but also the types of sample. This fact can even lead to the use of a non-probability sample. Next step is sampling procedure. Finally, the researcher must decide the type of the sample he will use. He must decide about the techniques to be used in the selecting the items for the sample. In fact, these techniques or procedures stand for the sample design itself. There are several sample designs explained out of the which the researcher must choose one for his study. Obviously, he must select the design which for give a sample size and for give cost has a smaller sampling error. Now we are going to see about the characteristics of a good sample design. From what has been stated above, we can list down the characteristics of a good sample design as under. First one is sample design must result in a truly representative sample. Second one is sample design must be such a which result in a small sampling error. Third one is sample design must be variable in the context of a fund available for the research study. Last one is sample design must be such so that systematic bias can be controlled in a better way. Sample should be such that the result of the sample study can be applied in general for the universe with a reasonable level of the confidence. These are the characteristics of a sample design. Thank you.